Are you getting frustrated as like a business leader because you've got this phenomenal training, you got all these great ideas in the business, and ultimately it seems that everyone's really energetic and really driven about it for like 4 or 5 days, and then it just seems to fall flat? And why is it that great ideas don't make it into your business? Well, this is because you got to get back to systems. Now, if you think about it, we used to have a very simple system called a checklist, and it was actually what we got to call the property file checklist. So we would, for example, get a compliant agency agreement, which would then allow us to then order a copy of the contracts, which would then allow us to maybe, for example, book the photography, book the videography, book the floor plan, and you get the idea that all of those things would go on. And now what's actually happened is we've seen a lot of incredible prop tech that's come to market that automates a lot of what we've got to call the compliance side of the transaction. So the agency agreement is signed on glass in inverted commas whilst we're there with the client at the listing presentation. That automatically sends the email and the letter of instruction to the solicitor to organize a copy of the contracts, which then ultimately triggers marketing to then go and book in the marketing and the photos and all the above. But do you know what's missing? The great stuff around prospecting and lead generation. So if you start to think about it, okay, great, we've just listed a phenomenal 4-bedder. Let's now go through and have a look at all of the other market appraisals that we have done as a business that were also 4-bedroom homes. Let's get a list of those people. Let's ring them and say, hey guys, we've listed something very similar to yours. It's going to sell in 2, 3, 4 weeks' time. When it does sell, we know that we're going to have 2 or 3 buyers left over. Is there any chance that we could get those 1, 2, 3 buyers through your place? Where are you at? What does it look like? Now, ultimately, different states, territories, and countries all have different legislation. But let's go with that basic idea that we get a copy of a contract organized, we get everything done. So that way then, when the subject property sells, you've then got the next 4-bedder coming onto market, and naturally you can do the buyer transfers from one campaign to the next. Smooth operator. And then naturally, you know what else we do? We're going to have a look at all the 3-bedroom appraisals that we've done. We ring them, we say, hey guys, we've got a great, perfect 4-bedder for you to upgrade into. Come and have a look at this. If they make the decision they want to go and buy that, then naturally they then have to sell theirs. And that's actually how you got to get pipeline progression. Now that looks like a great idea. It sounds like a great idea. We know that it actually works and it produces millions of dollars in revenue across the country. But the interesting thing is, why is that not in your business? Because you've moved away from checklists. Ultimately, you've got rid of the checklist because so much of the prop tech automates the compliance side. But what about the profit side, where you're going to generate more momentum than ever before? Great systems are forms that capture information, checklists that make sure that things get done and in the right order, visuals that sell and tell a story about you and your brand, literally the story of 1,000 words, and then naturally what we're going to call dialogue, which improves the speed of the conversation and also improves the conversion. That's what you've got to do as a great business leader. You've got to get back to systems, to digitize those checklists and make sure that they're sitting in some phenomenal systems, things like Asana, that really allow you to make sure that you've got the right things happening on every single property file. Welcome to the world of the future, one that's driven by systems that determines workflow, that guarantees the result, so you never miss another opportunity again.